Well, hey guys, it's Brock Hardman here with another episode of Your Health Truth. And today we get to talk about acid and alkaline balance and basically the difference between acid foods and alkaline foods and their effects on the body. So, in order to keep this relatively short, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because you can actually go online and do your own research on foods that are acid and foods that are alkaline. And when I say foods that are in each of these categories, what I'm referring to is anytime you consume anything, whether it's a food, whether it's a drug, whether it's a drink, anytime you ingest something into your body, it has one of two effects. It can only have one of two effects. And it's either an acid effect, which means it causes your pH to drop, or an alkaline effect, which causes it to rise. Now, every human has a pH of about 7.4, which means 7 is actually neutral, non-acidic, non-alkaline. 7.4 is slightly alkaline. And if it gets anywhere from below 7.35 to above 7.45, you'll actually have a high probability of death. And so that's why people that, there was an incident of a guy who was hazed at a fraternity, and what they do is they make you drink basically a lot of water in a short amount of time. What that did to his blood was make it extremely alkaline, and it killed him. So your body is it's not equipped to get outside of that range. And so pH is just basically potential for hydrogen is what that stands for, if you remember from chemistry or whatever. So what you really want to aim for, the healthiest diet is one that maintains, kind of your homeostasis, if you will, which is 7.4. So it's really hard to know exactly what kind of diet is going to keep you at a 7.4, but you just need to know that most foods that you eat are acid forming. And so whenever people talk about an alkaline diet, it's because you're already eating a lot of acid foods, and you need to offset that with alkaline foods. Our diets are absolutely horrible because we eat so much acid-forming foods that, that's the majority of the reason why we have so much problem with our bone structure and stuff like that. And I'll get into that in a minute, why that is. But you'll also hear people say that you need to eat mostly alkaline foods. And that's also incorrect. Because if you are constantly eating alkaline without any acidic foods, then you run the risk of the other problem. Your body then has to find acids within your body to neutralize the alkalinity. But there's very few people in that camp. Most of us consume too many acid-forming products. A few of them, I'll go over a few of them just so you're aware, is a lot of the meats. Most meats are very acid-forming. Coffee, tea, a lot of the grains are acid-forming, and dairy and sugar. Most of the alkaline foods are fruits, vegetables, like almonds, stevia, which is, the best natural sweetener, all natural sweetener available. And so that's another reason why I like to recommend that sweetener is that it's actually good for you. So you basically want to offset your acids with your alkalines, because if you don't, once you eat an acidic food, your body has to neutralize that by using either calcium or phosphorus or another highly alkaline mineral in your body to neutralize that. Because, like I said, your blood pH has to stay at 7.4. And so all the work you've done by taking your calcium supplements and your vitamin D supplements to build strong, bones and tissue is all for none if you're constantly eating an acid diet. All that work for nothing. So that's why they say, eat your fruits and vegetables, because most people don't, and they have a highly acidic diet. I mean, I know some people that just, especially the Atkins diet, which is actually good for losing weight, but it's not very good for overall long-term health. It'll do more damage than good in the long term. If you do it for short term and then get back off, just to lose weight, you'll be fine. But It's not sustainable. So, be sure, this is a great, excuse. If you need an excuse, most people need an excuse for something, but to eat your fruits and vegetables is to keep your blood pH at 7.4. So that's it. That's just kind of a brief overview of why you need to really consider everything you eat, because everything you eat is going to have one or two effects on you. It's either going to be acid or alkaline, and you want to keep your diet slightly alkaline. So go do some research on foods that you're currently eating or drinking, whether it's alcohol or Coke or Diet Coke or water or tea, or what your diet is, what kind of foods you're eating. Figure out if they're acid or alkaline. There's plenty of websites that will give you that information, and then it'll give you more of an idea of, wow, my diet is like 80% acid forming foods. I gotta start cutting back on those, or introducing more alkaline foods as I'm eating these to offset the effects. So that's it for today, and we'll see you next week.